Hi, Kevin. I am, hello, MYD. I am new to this live stream stuff, and I tried to set up an event, and then I guess I had to do a special encoder or something, and my microphone that I'm borrowing from my son is not working. So I am sorry, the audio is probably absolutely awful in this because it's just whatever is built into the iMac. So I apologize for that. Hello, Bong Connection. Thank you for loving my reactions. Richard, good morning from Wyoming. Hey, somebody from the US. Hey, I thought nobody from the US would be able to join since it's in the morning, in the middle of the day here. Kevin, lots of love from Carolina. Lots of love back from Chicago. Musical note. Did you see? No, I did. I just saw that the Verity wedding trailer just dropped, and I will record a reaction today and post it. But no, I just saw on Twitter just before I was trying to set up all this live stream folderol. Kevin, your favorite Indian actor? Okay. So Shah Rukh Khan is the one who started it all for me. I saw Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge on Netflix, and then I saw Robni Bani Di Jodi right after that. And so that is 4 years ago what started all of this. So he is still my number one. But for the different industries, I am a big fan of Dulquer Salman, and I'm so excited for him because of the big year that he is going to have this year. I cannot wait to see Mahanati, which is his debut in the Telugu industry, and then he's coming with a film with Irfan Khan in June in the Bollywood industry. He's got a film with Sonam Kapoor that he's doing that'll come out next year. Like, the kid is on fire. So I love him. And also, fun fact, he graduated from Purdue University in Indiana here in the U.S., which is where my son is attending. So every time I go down to visit my son, I just think how bizarre it is that Dulquer Salman walked these streets. So for each industry, I kind of have, there's different people that I love. Telugu, Prabhas. He is my number one love in the Telugu industry. And because he's the whole reason that I watched Telugu films, because I saw Bahubali, the first one, in the theater 4 times alone. Then I had to watch as many of his films as I could get my hands on. And that it steamrolled from there. So he's the one. Now for Tamil, I guess Madhavan, I like Ajit, so I like different ones, but I don't have as strong a feeling in the Tamil industry. Okay. Richix, you love my reactions to Sanju. I kind of had somebody commented that they thought I was completely fake. And if you guys are watching this and you have seen many of my reactions, that wasn't fake. Like, I was really genuinely gobsmacked by how Ranbir looked so close to Sanjay. It wasn't just the makeup, but that alone was amazing. It was the entire way he was carrying his body just was so dead on. I was absolutely blown away. The tone of the film trailer makes me wonder. It was so light that I'm wondering, this director, he's done, Munabai and PK and Three Idiots, which all had moments of seriousness, but a lot of lightheartedness. So I'm really curious what this film is going to be like. Let's see. Jathan, thank you for saying I'm a suburb reviewer. Thank you so much. Kick, you said, please react to more Mahesh Babu. I will. I cannot wait until Vijaye Swami, the video comes out and not just the lyrical one. Oh my God. I just have been playing that on repeat in my car, just listening to it over and over and over again. I love that one so much. Let's see. Mohammed, thank you. Hello. What are you thinking about Indian cinema? I think that I love it. That's what I think about it. I absolutely love it. I love this journey that I've been on for the last 4 years, learning more and more about it and watching as many films as I can. I think I've seen over 400 Indian films at this point. If you look at my About page on the YouTube channel, I have a link to my Letterboxd, which is sort of like my film diary of all the films that I've seen. And I have different lists on there. I keep track separately, like what Hindi films I've seen, what Tamil films I've seen, what Telugu, what Malayalam, and so forth. And so, yeah, I can count it up, and it's like almost 400 at this point. What is your favorite Bollywood actress? Probably Rani Mukherjee. I just love her in almost anything. And I'm so pleased that she's back and she's doing films, even though she's had her baby and took some time off. But I love it that now, it used to be an actress would get married and then we would never see them again. And I'm glad that she is continuing to do work. It helps to have Aditya as your husband, right? Like to get such a perfect, female-centric role like she did in Hitchcock. Okay, let's see. Have you watched Black? No, that is the one big film of hers that I have not seen. And I feel really bad because I have not been able to sit down and watch old movies. I've been trying to catch up on so many ones that are in the theaters. I saw Bharata Nenu twice this past weekend, and then the previous weekend there was like a movie a night I was seeing in the theater. But this weekend, weekend is Infinity Wars, right? So I have to see that at least once this weekend, and that's taking up so many screens here in the U.S. that I think there was that one Brahmanabam comedy that's opening, but otherwise there's no Hindi film opening this weekend. It's a quiet weekend for Indian films. And I'm going to try to watch some older films at home. Let's see. So, Ratam, thank you for your compliment. Owen, you seeing Infinity War tomorrow? Okay, you have to send me a tweet or a message and let me know how you like it. I have seen some good reports. There's a website called Screen Zealots, and I really, she gave a glowing spoiler-free review, 4.5 stars, and it's how hard it is to do completely spoiler-free, and that made me feel so good that if she liked it, then I'm really going to like it, because she said it's like continuation of Thor Ragnarok, and just that she said it was so good. It was one of the few superhero films where she felt like she could have, she left wanting even more. She was completely satisfied, but yet she wanted even more. So I think I'm going to see it on Saturday. We're trying to work out with my family. So this is the kind of film that I like to see with my sons and my husband and not just go by myself. So did you watch Barfi? Yes. That was one of the first Ranbir films that I ever saw. Alyssa, Bollywood Newbie on Twitter, was just asking, she saw the Sanju trailer and she'd never seen a Ranbir film and she had never seen a Sanjay Dutt film. So she was asking, what film should she start with? And I said, Barfi, because that is just one of my favorites. I think I didn't realize at the time how much he was modeling his character after his grandfather. And that makes it even more special when you realize. I saw Shri 420, and then I just appreciated even more what Ranbir did in that film. And then Ye Jawani, I said that would be the other one for him. And then I said, first, I haven't seen as many Sanjay films, but I think because the same director, Rajkumar Hirani, did Munabai, you have to see that one. And then Agnipath is another big one, just to kind of understand like how he does these villain roles and then how he played off that in the Munabai. But I'm hoping to see, can somebody tell me what's the name of the one that he did that was the romance with Salman Khan? I saw Jim Sarb is going to play Salman Khan in Sanju. Oh my God. Like, I can't even wait to see that. Oh, anyway, but that's the one that I want to go back of his more classic films of Sanjay's to try to see before Sanju comes out. Let's see. What about Bharata Nenu? Will it be at least steady with Infinity War? I was actually, today, Wednesday, is the day that they released the in the US. They released for the screenings starting on Friday. They show the show times. And Bharat Ani Nenu it's playing in multiple screens at the theater where I see Telugu films. And additionally, it is playing in the theater where in my town that normally only plays Hindi films. And so it is still holding steady. I think it's still going to do good box office this weekend. There's not a lot of, like Infinity Wars is taking over half the theater. There's just like every half an hour almost if you want to see it. Ujwal, hello. Thank you back for watching my videos. Ivan, hi. Thanos, hey, no spoilers. Have I watched Avengers? Yeah, I've watched all the Marvel films. I do watch the big Hollywood superhero films because that's something that my husband likes and my sons like, and so that's a family thing that we do together, and I do enjoy them. I think Thor Ragnarok was probably one of my the first Iron Man is amazing, but I like that irreverent tone to them. And the director Taika Waititi, you have to see his vampire movie What We Do in the Shadows, and he's an amazing director, and I've seen him in person. He was at Sundance, and oh my God, he is a riot. Have I seen Alvin says, have you seen Tatatin? Is that the one where he falls in love with the girl who wears the headscarf? Because yes, if that's the same one that I'm thinking of, it's hard for me to remember titles. I love that one. Let's see. Please react to Okadu. Just to a particular scene. Yeah, that opening scene is amazing. That would be fun. Do Americans watch Indian movies in theater? No, they really don't. I take my friends and I have taken them to see Indian films, but I will frequently be the only non-Desi person in the theater. It is not something that people seek out. It's quite rare. Favorite Marvel movie, Thor Ragnarok. Let's see. Wilson, please reply my question. I'm sorry if I didn't see. Let me go back and see. You've typed 20 times. Do Americans watch Indian movies? No, they don't really. And so it's quite rare. My friend Margaret Redlick, who has the site Don't Call It Bollywood, she actually created her master's thesis in media studies was about non-Indian fans of Bollywood. And she actually interviewed and surveyed people from all over the world. They're very popular in, like, Shah Rukh Khan is huge in Germany. They're very big in the Soviet Union. They used to show those films dubbed. They're very big in, like Africa. But so there's a small, intensely fandom of people like me. And I think Shah Rukh Khan is frequently sort of our gateway drug, like our entry into Bollywood. He just has an appeal to American women. So when I went to see his slam tour, there was a smattering, maybe a dozen top white people in a huge basketball arena to see him. Okay, so that'll give you some idea. And Margaret and I didn't know each other. She's like, "Oh, I knew. I had a feeling that was you." And then because she could see across. There's another white lady. Yeah, it's very rare. Let's see. What about Black Panther? Black Panther was oh my gosh, what an achievement. I absolutely loved Black Panther. It was such a movie. I loved also that the two white actors, I loved that the joke was that they were the Tolkien, like, from Lord of the Rings, the Tolkien white actors. And I loved how they were just, it was a total flip, how they were just there. And just as the token, white people in an otherwise completely black cast. And what a black cast. And just there's a making of video that the director did about that fight scene in the casino that is amazing because it talks about all the symbolism. And like, I didn't even capture the fact. So the two women, one's wearing a red dress, one is wearing a green dress, and then the Black Panther is wearing a black suit. And so the three colors make for the Pan-African flag. Like, totally went over my head the first time I saw it. So there's just so many things, and just how I'm like Lupita, how like she's a spy. She'll use anything. And so she fights by taking off her high-heeled shoe, and she uses just anything that comes to hand. Whereas the other woman is the traditional warrior, and she only uses her traditional weapons to fight. There were just so many layers, even to a fight scene, that this director put so thoughtfully into every single thing. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Have you watched the Tamil movie 24? Yes. Oh my gosh. That was my first Surya film. Loved that movie. Just the whole sci-fi vibe of it. I loved it. I thought that was really good. Will you be watching Deadpool? Ravinder, I know who you are. Yes, I will be watching it, but I'm not going to be reviewing it here on this channel because this is about Indian film. So, but yes, of course I will. I love Ryan Reynolds. He's the perfect Deadpool. And I'm very much looking forward to that. Am I going to watch Mohanlal? I hope most Mohanlal films do open here at the one theater that shows Indian films. So I'm hoping to be able to see it, yes. Edgar, love your show and your perspective of movies. I must have rewatched your review of Korea so many times. Yeah, I'm hoping to do another. So many people have asked because I keep mentioning that Devasuram is my favorite, and I do need to like actually make a video. I mean, I wrote an entire review on my blog previously when I first watched it. It's moviemavengal.com. Let's see. Yes, Kick. Somebody else had mentioned, I don't know if it was you or somebody else that mentioned that one of his, Mahesh's older films is a cowboy movie. And like, now I have to check it out because I'm so curious. Like, seriously, a cowboy? Okay. Yeah, Atul, I was just talking about Devasuram. Yes, I haven't made a video review and I need to. Like, this is the level of my fandom about that movie. I'm in a Indian dance class, and I brought the DVD to my dance teacher because she's from North India. She doesn't really know who Mohanlal. I'm like, you have, I handed it to her. I'm like, you have to watch this and see how amazing this is. What do you think about Mahesh's subtle acting? Used to not so loud performance like weird. Would you rate him if he was a Hollywood actor? I think, you know what? I think he would stand up there with like Tom Cruise and some of the other really fine action film stars. He has, I don't know how to describe it, but he just looks so cool in any action scene. He just pulls off all the slow-mo. It looks just so effortless and so cool. But this particular film, I thought he really got to do some meaty drama scenes. You know, like even Tom Cruise has done some art cinema like Magnolia and or like he did Born on the 4th of July, where he got to do more just a straight drama and not just an action movie. So I think he would stand up against any of the big action stars in Hollywood. So, and I do think somebody made a joke like, well, we know every Mahesh movie, somebody's going to feed him by hand. I mean, watching Atadu again, it's like, normally he just has that strong silent thing going, but he really can just show you how deeply he's feeling about something in some of those really emotional scenes. And I like the playful flirting that he does in films like that, you know? So he's the whole package. He's just the whole package. Like I said, Prabhas is my number one, but I'm a big fan of Mahesh. Really big. Let's see. Which Indian stars are famous in America? There was a Time 100 Time magazine. And so Deepika Padukone was the only Indian actress or actor that was named this particular year. So they had a big gala party, I think it was last night or the night before. And so she was honored there. But definitely Priyanka. Priyanka is the one that everyone knows because of the Quantico show and because she has done the Baywatch movie and whatever. So she is the number one. She's done all the talk shows. Previous to that, Aishwarya Rai, right? Aishwarya Bachchan had done the film Pride and Prejudice. She did Pink Panther 2 or one of those, you know what I mean? So, but right now, it's definitely Priyanka. She's the one that everyone knows. Will I be checking Jata 2, I don't know what that is, so probably not. The Karidanga movie was shot in Arizona. I don't know what that movie is. Let me know what that is. My favorite movie in Hollywood. Bahubali. Let's see. I wanted to check if you're intending on watching Omerta. I want to. I don't know where it's going to be playing. So that is going to be the challenge, is where it might be releasing. And also the timing of it. That weekend, May 4th, which I believe is its release date. There's so many films that are releasing that same weekend. I believe Renam Detroit Crossing, the Prithviraj movie, is coming out that weekend. Allu Arjun movies is coming out that weekend. So it's going to be, I don't know that I'll be able to see Omerta the first day, and it's just going to be, where is it going to be playing? I don't know if it'll be playing in my town or if I'll have to drive an hour away to see it at another theater. So it's just, I'm waiting to see what the, where it's going to be released. Superstar Superfan, hey, back. Just a random thing. What do you think about Indian Hollywood fans? I mean, the whole world loves these movies, right? They're not, it's not just for Hollywood, it's for everyone. And especially these big superhero and big action movies are definitely made with the international audience in mind. And because action and explosion translates to everyone, right? I don't know if all the sarcasm and the banter always comes across to every audience. I hope it does. The Chris Pratt and Robert Downey Jr. and all of their banter, if it comes across to everyone. But I think those are just universal for everyone. They're not just for Americans. VJ got into a controversy for calling stuff. You mean the tweet about her cars? He got in trouble for that? I retweeted that tweet. I thought it was so funny because they were trying to promote the movie and how she had a collection of vintage cars. And then he retweeted it saying she was a cool chick, and he got in trouble. Okay. You know what? I think he does it on purpose, but I don't understand why he got in trouble. But can you tell which Indian actor deserves an Oscar? Manoj Bajpayee for Aligarh, I thought was amazing. I think Rajkumar Rao is someone that could cross over, and he's Oscar worthy in everything that he does. He kind of reminds me of Rez Ahmed. He just is so talented. How much are you excited about Sanju? I'm very excited. And this director has done, every single movie has been so successful. I'm just really curious about, is the tone of the trailer going to be the tone of the movie? You know what I mean? Like at the end where it was all those quick cuts, it showed some of those crazy, they did show the guns. They did show him coming out of the prison. And I heard that the director himself filmed Sanjay when he came out of prison. So I'm really curious, when you do a biopic and the person is cooperating, like, it's not, how dark are they going to go? How much are they going to go into the negative? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm really curious about. Carry On Jatu is a Punjabi. I'm sorry, I just scrolled past. Not many Punjabi films come here. So I don't know. If it's still Jeet, maybe they would, but I don't know. Let's see. The Arjun Reddy remake. I thought I heard Arjun Kapoor was going to do it. Now you're saying it's Shahid? I could see Shahid possibly pulling it off. I don't know. That's a special film, and it's going to take a special actor, and I reserve judgment. When Shahid did Kamine, and when he did Hater, he can go dark, but I had heard Arjun Kapoor, but God, Arjun Kapoor would need to lose a little bit of weight to do that. So I'm willing, I will withhold judgment until I see. What do you think the best actor and best actress in India? Oh my gosh. Well, there's so many. Whoops, sorry. Let's there's so many. I have so many favorites too. I think, like I mentioned, I think Rajkumar Rao is so supremely talented. He can do comedy. He can do intense dramas. I think he is one of the best. Nawaz, like, okay, his personal life, I heard about that autobiography, like, okay. But Nawaz Siddiqui is so supremely talented. Best actress. I come back. I love Rani Mukherjee, and I think Anushka Sharma is such a fine actress. And then I love how she is using her production company to make really different and unusual films. I don't know that I can ever watch NH10 again, but holy crap, what a performance that was. That was really good. Let's see. Yeah, Atul, I have a long list of Mohanlal films trying to see, like, so 300 movies the guy has made. Edgar, do you watch other YouTube stars who are in the same genre? Do you watch Pieces of Work? He does a lot. I have seen some of Pieces of Works. I don't regularly watch. I watch a smattering of Rajdeep and Jabi Kawai and Pieces of Work. I am aware of him. I think he does like the fact that he's doing pretty much one a day is amazing. But I don't watch every single video that they do. And I'm aware of like Pesh Entertainment, and I try to listen to some of the podcasts like, let's see. Well, Shah Shahid's Split Screen podcast. I'm actually going to be recording an episode with Shah tomorrow, and I think it will be released early next week. So we're going to talk about Indian film news and just general topics and kind of introduce me to his audience. And then at another time, his podcast is about comparing Indian Hollywood films and their Indian remakes, so we're gonna, like Memento and Gajini, like that. So we're gonna do another episode comparing and contrasting another film, but we're gonna start with just kind of an intro this week. And I like the Bollywood Project Girls. There's quite a few Bollywood podcasts, but yeah, it's hard to keep up with everything. What Canada film was U-Turn? Canada. That one I saw. Was Lucia? Was that Canada? Because that one was, that was good. That was amazing. What old film am I going to review? Okay, I'm blanking on the title. It was a Surya film. And I'd like to watch one of the older Nani films too. So I'm going to try to watch one or two this weekend. Why don't blockbuster movies win Oscars? Okay. The Oscars are like the World Cup and the Super Bowl to me. So I actually study it. There's a website called Awards Daily, where it's like someone would do for sports stats. They cover the stats for the Oscars and how from the festivals, what movies are released, what could possibly make it all the way to the Oscars. You have to understand, the Oscars are voted on not by the public. This is not the people's choice. This is an academy of about 6,000 people who skew male, who skew, like, probably the average age of an Academy member is 65. So think about that in your head. Is a 65-year-old going to vote for Logan, as Best Picture? No, they're not. They're going to vote for something like The King's Speech, So that's why there's something called an Oscar movie, because it's just, typically, World War II era, somebody with disabilities that they're overcoming, there's just certain films that fit in those boxes. Occasionally you get something like The Artist or Slumdog Millionaire, that's like a little movie that could and just blows through everything else. This year was quite unusual in that there was no clear front runner. And it could have gone to one of three films. I was very pleased at Shape of Water. And also they kind of parcel it out, like something wins for writing, something just being nominated. The fact that Logan was nominated is amazing in and of itself, because it just broke through. Normally there is not respect for superhero films or comedy films. You know, Fish Called Wanda is like one of the rare ones to get, you know, maybe script. You'll give it to script or something. So it's its own animal. It's not the people's choice. It's not the most popular movie. It's not the biggest box office movie. It's, you know, it's just its own thing. So, you know, you can't judge by what's popular. They tried to broaden it by making 10 Best Pictures nominations. It hasn't always worked. And it's a weird, the preferential ballot, not even most of the Academy members really understand what that means. So people don't just put down, I want this particular film to win. They have to rank their films, you know, from 1 to 9, and then it bubbles up, and finally, whichever one gets in a majority will win. It's a very complicated voting system. Have I seen Avengers? Let's see. Yes, I've seen all the Marvel films leading up to this one this weekend. Please review Pramam, Action Hero Biju, Om Shanti Oshan. Oh my gosh, you're listing so... I haven't seen Guppy yet, but you're listing... movies of my heart. I have written reviews of some of them on my moviemavengal.com. Om Shanti Oshana. Just that is exactly why I love Malayalam film so much. Okay, first of all, Niven looks so sexy in that one, but I just love how that scene where she fantasizes about him bringing the coffee and like it turns the bride viewing on its head. One of my all-time favorite scenes of an Indian film, bar none. Amazing. So yes, I will get around to some of those classic ones that I love so much. And Pramam, I can't even count how many times I've seen Pramam. I love that one so much. If Arjun Reddy was going to be remade, who would be the perfect one? You know what? I would go maybe Pepe. I don't know if Dulquer could be that badass. I'm not sure. Fahad, I don't think so. Yes, he's a great actor. I just don't. He's a little bit older, and I just don't know if he could quite pull it off. But the guy from Angamali Diaries, maybe, yeah, that would be a good one. Have I watched the Telugu spoof? No, I have not seen that one. Do I think Dunkirk is overrated? You know, it's a very fine film. I don't really love war films. I do love Christopher Nolan films. Christopher Nolan is a master filmmaker. It's really interesting, the different timelines in that one. I thought that Tom Hardy in particular, as that one pilot, I thought he did a particularly fine job. So the acting I really admired. I have to admire the scope of it, or like Saving Private Ryan, when somebody actually tries to give you that wide scope of what it was like. So it was quite the experience. I went to see it in IMAX, and I really did like it, but frankly, I was glad that it didn't win Best Picture and then it was Shape of Water, because that's the movie of my heart this year. Marvel or DC? I guess more Marvel, just because I like kind of the irreverent tone. You know what I mean? Like Superman versus Batman. Okay. I do like Zack Snyder in general as a director. I enjoyed Watchmen. 300. You guys don't know, but 300 is like was such a big movie for me. I was a Gerard Butler fan, and yeah, so I enjoy his style, but Superman versus Batman was like so dark, not one moment of lightness, and was just yeah. Have you seen Wednesday? Yes, I have. Very fine film. Dreamcast for Andas Apna Apna. Oh my God. I don't know. That one is hard for me. I have seen it, and it's difficult because I don't get, all the wordplay doesn't come through in subtitles. I mean, I get it on a superficial level, but it doesn't all come through. Yeah, real talk about Rana voicing Thanos. I have seen Rana posting on Twitter about that, which is amazing. That his deep, deep voice for Thanos. awesome. I'm so happy for him too that he gets to be a part of all of that. He's got to be geeking out himself. RF, hi Auntie, hello back, Beta. Let's see. Do you miss Paul Walker? You know, I never really got into the Fast and Furious films so much. It was so sad that he passed away so young. It really was. Let's see. Mini-Me passed away. Yes, I know. That was very sad. It was very sad. Rhythm. Please review Rhythm link. Okay, I'd have to look back for that. Is Bharat a bigger hit than Ragastalam in the States? I think so. It's my friend Margaret Redlick of Don't Call It Bollywood kind of analyzes box office. And I think it made something amazing like $12,000 per screen in the US, which is like over $2,000 a screen would be a solid hit. So it is selling out theaters. It is, I think, the highest box office for the first weekend for a film that wasn't one of the Bahubali films. So it is doing amazing box office here. So it's only been its first week, but I think, yes, it will. Ragastalam has done very, very well, but I think Bharat Ani Nenu is going to blow its box office record out of the water. Let's see. What got you interested in Indian movies, Wilson? Okay, so here's kind of my origin story. 4 years ago, okay, going all the way back, 18 years ago, I saw Lagan, was my very first Indian film. Because, again, the Oscars are such a big thing for me. It was nominated for the Foreign Language Oscar. This is back when Netflix was not streaming. You only got DVDs in the mail. So, and my children were young. That was a huge thing to be able to just get movies delivered to me in the mail. So I watched Lagan, and then I think I watched Dil Chhata Hai. But you have to understand, the internet was a very different place 18 years ago. It was so hard to research about other films. I don't speak the language, so I didn't know what titles were. It was hard I didn't even know where to go next. So fell away from it. Then 4 years ago, Netflix's algorithm said, because you like romantic movies, it suggested Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge to me. So I watched that, and then since I like that, then it suggested Rabni Bani Jodi. And now I have an extra neighbor who is from South India, and I was texting her, and then she was telling me about, well, I like Hrithik, and I was off to the races, and I was just absolutely obsessed. So I started with Shah Rukh Khan. I watched most of his films and then branched off from there, and it was basically by actor. I would go to the films with my neighbor, and she would explain some things to me. And then she was the one that said, hey, do you want to see this Bahubali film? My coworkers are saying it's pretty good. So we went to see that, and that started the whole regional cinema thing for me, Telugu films. And then I've ordered DVDs from India. There's a lot more places where you can watch them online now. Of course, Telugu films, that's great because a lot of them are on YouTube for free with subtitles. So, and how I got into Malayalam films is because, okay, Shah Rukh Khan was in the Mani Ratnam film. Okay, why am I blanking on it? Not Devdas. The Chaya Chaya one. Like, I don't know why I'm having a brain freeze. So, I wanted to watch more Mani Ratnam films. Actually, I went to a A.R. Rahman concert, and he played the song Mental Manadil from OK Kanmani. And I was so blown away with that music. I'm like, I have to see this film and see where this, how the song is in the film. So that was a Mani Ratnam film, because of course A.R. Rahman works with Mani Ratnam all the time. And that had starred Dulquer Salman. And then I said, well, I have to see what else this kid has done, because he's so charming and he's so amazing. And then I started to watch his films, and I realized, like Bangalore Days and so forth, and I realized how much I enjoyed the more natural style of the acting in Malayalam films. And I just kept following. Well, Niven Pauly was in Bangalore Days, watched Praman, watched some of his other films. So it just kind of, like I follow a particular actor, and then that branches out. Or I follow a director like Rajamouli, like, okay, I need to see he did a little film called Liga, so I have to see that and so forth. That's how it all started. Dilsey, thank you. Like, I don't know why I was just brain freeze on that. Dilsey. Surya's Gaijini versus you know what? I haven't seen Surya's Gaijini yet, and I want to see it. And I haven't seen where I can find it online, but I'm going to keep searching for it and I haven't also seen Surya's original Singham. The second Singham and the third one are available on Hotstar, I think, which I subscribe to. But I haven't been able to find the first one. I kind of want to go back because, yeah, I admire Surya very much. And 24 was the first time that I saw him in. And then whatever that heist movie that he just did, I really enjoy him. I want to see some of his big ones like Singham and Gaijini. Let's see. Atul says, have I watched the Tamil movie Anayan? No, I have not seen that one. It's inspired partially by The Matrix. Okay, that sounds really interesting. Can you please explain Identity Climax? No, because I haven't seen it yet, so I can't. Ram, what is your job apart from YouTube? Don't watch Singham 3. It's torture. Okay. Thank you, Alan, for saving me from that one then. Okay. What is my job? So I'm actually a stay-at-home mom. That's how I'm able to talk to you right now at 11 in the morning, Chicago time. So my husband was an attorney. He's recently retired and trying to do a different kind of a job in the not-for-profit world. And he actually has a job interview today. But I have been at home with my kids and done a lot of volunteer work through the schools and other things. So, but yeah, I guess you could call me retired too. So I don't have another job, which is why I'm able to spend the time to explore this new crazy thing on YouTube. Biggest disappointment for a movie. For me, it was Dragon Ball Evolution. Bombay Velvet was a disappointment. We were just discussing that on Twitter because, like I said, Bollywood Newbie was asking for what Ranbir movie, and somebody suggested Bombay Velvet, and I'm like, really? You're going to suggest that one? That would not be the first Ranbir movie that I would point someone to. Yeah. I mean, that was like Anurag Kashyap is so awesome. And, Ranbir is like all the elements should have come together and been great. And it was like, so have I ever been to India? No, I have not ever been. I don't even know. Through Amati, you have like gobbledygook numbers and letters. Okay. No, if not, I would love to come. Oh my gosh, I would love to come to India. Problem is, there's so many places I would like to visit now too. So how do I get, it's like visiting the entire, I would of course want to go to Kerala. I would want to, there's so many places like in Delhi and Mumbai that I've seen only in movies that I would love to see in person. But I don't know. It's very expensive to fly to India from here. And there's just so many places that I would want to visit. My husband is not that's not like on the top of his bucket list to go to India. So like I said, he just retired for different financial situations. So maybe in the future that I will be able to go. Do I watch Dragon Ball? This will make you laugh, but my son who is 25 and is living back at home with us, likes to watch anime and all of those kind of things. So I have walked through the room many a time when Dragon Ball is on, but I have not watched it on purpose. Let's just put it that way. In the same way that my 25-year-old son Josh has never watched, except for Bahubali, has never watched an Indian film on purpose, only because I'm watching and he's in the room. Do I do any online work from home? No. Have you watched Raghav? No, I have not watched that one, Manoj Bajpayee. So that's an older film. So no, I have not seen that one. I will look for that. You would have been a successful film critic Why did you offer such a job? I don't think I'm not as confident in my writing, but I was just talking to Shah about this the other night, the guy I'm doing the podcast with. And so the reason that I am comfortable on camera, I'm more comfortable talking than I am writing. And so when Kartik suggested I do YouTube, I just kind of felt like I was too old to do something like that. Because I'm in my 50s, but he encouraged me and I'm loving it so much. But there was a personal tragedy in our family. So my husband's cousin went missing. She was murdered probably by her husband. This happened in 2007. And I became the family spokesperson that talked to the media. It was a national story. If you guys have ever heard of Larry King, I was on Larry King. I was on Fox News. I was on, I was constantly being interviewed. Her immediate family were just too devastated by the tragedy. They couldn't talk to the media. And we were trying to get attention for people to do searches for Lisa's body. And we were trying to get attention also to put pressure on the police to not make it a cold case, which is. It's never been solved. Her body has never been found, but we were trying to keep putting pressure on the police to keep on with the case. So I did a lot of media 10 years ago, and whenever an anniversary comes up for that, and it's just kind of a weird thing to find out for someone who's never worked in media to feel that you can just be comfortable on camera. I think I have a face for radio, though. But so that's what's part of my hesitation of doing a YouTube channel. Being an advocate for the family, that was something I was passionate about, and I just didn't care what I looked like, and I could just do it. And but this is obviously something I'm passionate about, Indian film. So I can just talk about it because I'm so passionate about it. That's why it kind of took me aback when that person commented that I was being fake in my reaction to Sanju. I mean, I know it was maybe a little more over the top than most people, but that's generally me. Like I do get that excited about things, and I'm wanting to share that with you. So, let's see. Your YouTube income per month. Okay. It is like nothing. It is, I think you have to reach a threshold of getting $100 to even get a payment. I finally got my first payment. So part of the problem is, remember my older videos, I used the clip from Fan, the Jabra Fan song. And so all of those got demonetized. I don't get any money for any of those older videos. If I put a trailer in frequently, I will get, it's not a copyright strike, but it just gets demonetized because the production company for the film claims it as a copyright. So there's so many of my that's why I don't really use film clips in my film reviews anymore from the trailers or anything. I just use still pictures because it's not that I'm really in this for the money, but I will get zero money for a lot of the trailer reactions because it'll get a copyright, not a strike. I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, so, YouTube just says, just so you know, it's a copyright notice, and then there's no money. So, like the bread, even if I get all those views for looking at the bread, I need a new trailer, zero money, zip. So this is just for the love of doing it and not because I think this is a job or that I'm actually getting money. So if you notice somebody like Javi Kawai, for instance, he has Patreon. I've seen him do things that I think are sponsorship. He does those super chats where people have to pay like $5 to get a question during his, and he has like private live streams. He does it as a business. He's big enough. He's upscale. I'm 6,000 subscribers. He just reached 600,000 subscribers. So, one video, if I get, like 10,000 views of like some extraordinary view and it doesn't get a copyright, I might get $1 for that particular video. So that'll just give you, this is not for a career. This is just for fun. I need to watch Madhuri and Sridevi. I do love them. Yes, I need to watch more Sridevi. I've watched quite a few Madhuri, and I'm so excited that she's going to be doing that Kalank movie. Oh my God. That was supposed to be Sridevi. all the people that are going to be in that. Let's see. Anuj, I've watched many episodes about haunting. Have you ever had such an experience? Okay, not actually here, although there are haunted house tours in my town. I have never been on one, but I'll tell you where I have done haunted tours when we visited Scotland. And we did some graveyard tours in the middle of the night. And there was one where we went down into these sort of catacombs. I have never been so creeped out in my life. So I didn't feel like somebody was bumping me or not, but I just like, it's like when the hairs in the back of your neck, like, rise up and you're just like, you could just feel so creeped out. That's how I felt. It was, oh my God. Yeah. Hey, Pranav, good to see you. Donald Trump or crooked Hillary? Hillary all the way. I'm a Democrat. That is the other thing that I'm absolutely obsessed with is politics. And one reason why I have 2 Twitters. So I have Movie Maven Gal, which was my original one. And then I have the Pardesi YT, which is just for this channel. We're just promoting things that I'm doing on this channel. But if you follow me on Movie Maven Gal, you'll see that I'm retweeting a lot of stuff about American politics because, like, I am such a news junkie for all of that stuff. Why Fox is disturbing so much to Matt? Have they troubled you also? Anuj, he, like the Boggy 2 trailer, I did a reaction video, and then I got a copyright notice that it was taken down. And so I was like, fine. And I just left it. I didn't delete it because I had other things going on. And then even though it was like banned and blocked and no one in the world could see it, then weeks later, they gave me a copyright strike. And so I have to wait 3 months for that to be expunged. And that's why I didn't go to see the movie, why I didn't review the movie, because I was so, somebody posted on Twitter because Matt was talking about it because CoreCon, he took it down from his CoreCon site, his reaction to it. And it's because, all of us were nervous about getting a copyright strike. And so we, he shared that I had the strike and other people took it down. And there's certain companies, somebody said that they had interned there or something for a summer, and it's like they're trying to get them monetary revenue, but they're not understanding that all these reactions are a way to publicize the film. You're putting the trailer out there as a promo. Like, I don't particularly care if I get the money for doing the reaction, but like, don't give me a freaking copyright strike. It's fair use. Okay. Yeah, that's a whole thing. Javi has subs because of those girls. Yeah, I face for radio. Next Malayalam movie review. Okay. I want to see Sudani from Nigeria, but I am so super busy and I haven't checked if it's staying over another week. I have so much going on in my personal life right now with my son. He's in a big play at his high school and everything. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch that one in the theater, which makes me sad. But so the next big film that's coming out that I'm hoping will come out the same weekend as it will be in Kerala is Prithviraj's Ranam, which I'm really looking forward to. That one looks so interesting. So that comes out May 4th. Hopefully here too. Your camera and mic and editing software. Okay. Right now I am just using the FaceTime camera on a big iMac, and I apologize again that this mic is not seeming to be working. I just tried to get on time. I need to learn more about how to do live streaming. I know Matt Corconelli uses OBS software, and I'm just dabbling my toe in the waters of this live streaming stuff. So I'm going to try to learn more about it. Okay, when I do my regular videos, I used to use editing software on my Windows computer, and it was just taking a really long time. So especially for trying to get trailer reactions out quick. I record on my iPhone. I have an iPhone 6S, And I use a little $24 lavalier mic that plugs into the headphone jack of my iPhone, which is one reason why I haven't upgraded to a, fancier iPhone, is because it's just, this is working and it's easy. So I just have a tripod that I put the phone on and record it and then plug it into this iMac computer that I'm recording this live stream on. And so I just use iMovie. So it doesn't have as many, it only has 2 tracks to edit. So I can overlay the video of the trailer over or still pictures, but I don't have the ability to do as many things as I would with a fancier, but it's quick and it's like quick and easy. You know what I mean? It's very quick and easy. So I don't have a fancy camera. It's just my iPhone. Let's see. T-Series and Fox are too greasy on it. Yeah, I think some companies get it and they welcome the reactions. And like, look what Madhavan did with Korakhan Nala and the Breathe thing. I mean, not only did he encourage Matt to do all those reactions of every single episode, he did an interview with him. He paid for his Amazon Prime so Matt could do those videos. Like, I already admired Madhavan, but even more so now. What a mensch. What a great guy to do that. So that's something where he welcomed all that Matt was doing to promote that series. Yeah, some people just don't get it. It's fair use. Bali, that's so good to see you. Oh, thank you. Let's see. Akshay, hi. Hi back. Let's see. Mahesh Babu, Real Talk says, Mahesh Babu was supposed to do a movie with Arjun Reddy director because he was so impressed by it, but I think it's shelved and he doesn't want to experiment with new directors. Mahesh had a couple of flops there, or Spider wasn't as successful. That's part of the problem, is when you reach a certain level, then the expectations are just so sky high for every movie that you do, and the pressure, because it's not just him, it's all the people that he supports around him, right? And he's got to just feel that pressure. That's why I felt like this Bharatani Ninu, he gave the people what he wanted with a couple of action scenes and whatever. It's a shame of him, but he also was able to do a few meeting scenes. And yeah, it's hard to be experimental when you're that big, which, is the downside of it. Do I like Alia Bhatt? I love Alia Bhatt. I think she's so talented. I thought she was just, a lightheaded bimbo kind of person, from Student of the Year. Boy, did she prove me wrong, because she was amazing in Highway. That devastating scene that she does at the end when she confronts her family. Oh my God. And then Utta Punjab. Wow. She is a talent. So, she's come such a long way. And I'm so looking forward to Razi, because I think she is just, her negative is she looks like she's 12, right? She just looks so young. She's really a talent. I admire her very much. Madhavan is a great human being. I agree with you. I haven't watched, he's Anuja saying that the director of Breathe also gave Matt, and I haven't been able to watch that video yet, but I'm just so happy for Matt that, the love that he gave to that series and all the attention, and they're giving it back to him. I think everybody involved with that is just a class act completely. How did you feel the first time I was in front of a camera? Well, the first time I was in front of a camera, as I was just talking about, Ram, was the all this stuff, involving. I was very nervous, involving the murder and being the family spokesperson, and that was like doing live TV, and it was just. Yeah, it was pretty intense. So doing this YouTube, the weird thing is, that I couldn't see myself, right? Because the TV camera is taking a picture of me, and I only saw it later what I would look like when it was posted on the news. And instead with YouTube, I've got the camera, probably the better camera is on the side that you can't see yourself, but I want to see how I am in the frame. So I have it. And it's kind of weird actually to watch myself And yeah, I mean, I had to kind of get over the fact that I feel like I look so fat on camera and all the rest of it. It's just hard. When I'm doing a trailer reaction or something, I can edit out all of my ums and clean it up a little bit. So, or if I lose my train of thought or something like blanking on Dilse, I can look it up and then I can edit it out. Here, I can't do that. So you're seeing all of my mistakes and whatever. So, Basnath, you have more Bollywood knowledge than me. Well, thank you. I think it's different. I didn't grow up watching the films. They weren't just around me. I've watched them all in a concentrated period of time. Right. And it's funny because my next door neighbor grew up in India, but she didn't really watch movies so much as a kid. And so like when we saw here's an example. We saw Happy New Year. And I had seen so many Shah Rukh Khan movies that all the little riffs they were doing, like when she does the speech before they're about to do the dance competition, Deepika does the speech and she's mocking the 70-minute speech that from Chak De India. And I am laughing like crazy. And my next door neighbor is looking at me, she's like, she doesn't get it, right? Because I had just seen Chak De India. So, it's funny references that I get. Then she'll laugh at other things because let's say a song plays in the radio in a film or something. And she'll laugh because she knows what that's from. And that's a cultural clue that's just right over my head. So I don't get everything, but I'm learning more. And one of my yardsticks is that Om Shanti Om, that big Diwani dance number where like everybody is at that party. And that's my yardstick because when I first saw Om Shanti Om, it was very early in my love of Shah Rukh Khan, a few months in, okay? And I didn't know anybody else really that was in besides Kajol. And now gradually, as more movies I watch, I'm like, oh, there's Rajnikant, or oh, there's someone's brother, or there's, I get it. And that's like my realizing how far I've come is each time I watch that, how many more people that I recognize. Ali Abad's first movie. Really? She played a young I didn't know that. I thought it was Student of the Year was her first one. Sangarsh. No, I haven't seen that film. No, I didn't realize. Well, I mean, I know obviously that her father's in the business, but I did not realize that she did that. That's funny. Okay. Learn something new every day. This is what I love about this conversation that I have with all of you. You guys educate me on things that I don't know. Who do you think is big, Allu Arjun or Ram Charan? I don't really know. Like, I know more. I've seen, who do I think is big? Like, I can't really tell which one has the bigger fan base. I think Allu Arjun maybe is bigger here, but it's hard for me to tell. Let's see. Happy New Year was a crap movie, but you know what? It's Shah Rukh, so of course I was there. Okay, and there's that song, Manavalagi, where his shirt goes off in the fire. Yeah, yeah, good music. It was a crap movie, but you know what? It's still Shah Rukh, so I'm enjoying it. And I actually thought Abhishek Bachchan, he does so well when he does those ensemble movies and the whole movie isn't on his head, and he just is funny. He's just funny. Let's see. Ankar, I like your movie reviews a lot. I remember how you aptly described the difference between Hollywood and indie movies. There's too many emotions. There's not too many emotions for me. There's just enough. A lot of the films, it's to take you through an emotional journey and to give you those different emotions. Like a Genie, we were just talking earlier, somebody mentioned it. Memento is its own thing, and it is a gem of a film, right? But it also is kind of at a remove. It's like you have this intellectual distance from it. And when I watch it, I'm not necessarily... Well, I'm sympathizing with Guy Pearce's character. I'm not feeling in the depths of my soul the way when I see Amir Khan's, wife murdered, like how the devastation that I feel at that moment. I didn't feel that in Memento. You know what I mean? Like Memento, I'm like, oh, the script is so clever and whatever. And the actors that are in it, I enjoy, but I don't have that gut punch oh my God, the wife died. I just spent an hour with this rom-com. And yeah, it's the whole emotional journey. And I want that. Like somebody's like, why would you want to go see October, a movie that makes you cry? I do enjoy that. I love just feeling that emotion and having that movie do that to me. I also used to love going to see, my husband and I subscribed and went to the Lyric Opera in Chicago for over 20 years. And it's the same kind of thing. It's the whole package, right? It's not just a play, it's the music, it's the emotion, it's the everything. The whole package. It's not just a play, it's not just a symphony, it's everything. And that's the way I feel like about Indian film. Have you seen any movie or scene which was plagiarized? Well, yeah, Gajini, there's plenty that have taken some acknowledged, like Chef acknowledged that it was an official remake, and Bang Bang acknowledged that it was an official remake of the Tom Cruise film. But not all of them do. I don't get all excited about that. How much time would it take to produce one YouTube video from scripting or recording to publishing on YouTube? Okay, so this is probably gonna, I don't actually write a script. I just talk. I don't actually, sometimes I make notes to at least so that I remember people's names, because it's hard. They don't just trip off the tongue to me. It's hard for me. So I will sit down and I will do several reactions. Like if I'm doing trailer reactions, I will do several in a row. We'll just sit down. You'll see I'm wearing the same shirt or whatever for several videos. So the actual filming of it might only take 10 minutes for one particular video, but I'm probably doing for an hour or something, doing a bunch in a row. And then the editing time is what takes longer. It can take an hour, and it takes a while for the video to render and then for it to upload to YouTube and all of that. So a trailer reaction is quicker because I'm just editing and taking out the little ums and ahs and pauses and whatever, and syncing the trailer onto the, trying to sync the trailer audio to my audio track of my recording of myself. So doing a review, though, can take longer because I'm having to really think about what I want to say, especially for something like a Mohanlal movie where there's so much to say, like about Karidam or something like that. So I have to spend time finding either clips or finding still pictures from the movie that is going to illustrate what I want to talk about. So yeah, I mean, each film takes some time. Let's see. Akshay, who's your favorite Indian actor? Shah Rukh. Let's see if you can see. Can you see? This is my phone lock screen. Yeah, it's Shah Rukh. Ravinder, this is about Indian film. I know you want to talk to me about all these Hollywood things, but I don't really care about Sylvester Stallone and Rambo and First Blood and all of that kind of stuff. So that's not what my channel is about. What are your views on Indian movies' unique method of having an interval? Ankur. Okay, I actually read some academic books about Bollywood because the film language of Indian cinema is so different than Hollywood films. At first, I felt very off kilter. It's something I've gotten used to over the time and something I've gotten to appreciate. And I read Karan Johar's biography, and I thought he had one of the best ways of explaining it, that especially if they do it well, the interval point is like an exclamation point. It is a punctuation in the middle of the film. And so there's the first half can be very different than the second half. And that interval point is meant to leave you with a moment of, going out to get another drink or going to the restroom or whatever and talking to other people like, oh my gosh, what did you think about that? And what do you think is going to happen next? And so the problem is in America, except when I go to the Indian movie theater, they don't stop at the interval point. They just keep going. And I miss that when I am able to see films at the Indian movie theater. There is that moment where you can then turn to the person next to you and say, "Oh my gosh, wow!" Like I can't believe that happened, or whatever. It just really, like a Gajini. The general point is showing the murder, right? And then the first half is very different from the second half. So it's just a different film language. And I'm not saying it's just different. I'm not saying it's better than Hollywood or worse than Hollywood. It's just a different language. Like, is French better than Italian? No, it's just different. It's a different way of telling a story. And that is something that I think is a barrier sometimes for non-Desi American people to get into Bollywood films, because it feels off kilter. Like, it's not the way we're used to seeing stories told. It's not the three-act structure of most Hollywood films. So it's just really, it's just different, but I've gotten used to it. And now when I see a Hollywood film and I don't get that full backstory about some characters, and the film is only under 2 hours or whatever, I feel like I didn't get enough. I'm not fully satisfied. I've heard that, for instance, the Infinity Wars films is going to be like 2.5 hours long. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, for other people, it'll probably like, oh my God, that's so long. It's over 2 hours. And I'm like, okay, that's normal, right? Like, I'm used to 3 hour, 2.5, 3 hour films. And I enjoy the songs. I know I see even Desi people, like, that's the song comes on, that's when they go to the bathroom, because since we don't have a interval break, or that they just tolerate those parts, they don't necessarily enjoy them. That's what I'm there for. I love the songs, and that's part of what keeps the length long, to the films. If you have to include 5 or 6 songs, that's going to stretch the movie out. Which Indian films would you like to be remain in Hollywood? I don't know. I think Okay Kanmani, I think that one could be really good. What do you think of item songs? Sometimes I understand there just has to be like the bar number. Sometimes it just gets shoehorned in. Sometimes it's fun to see somebody do a guest appearance, completely different actress. Sometimes it makes sense in the film, like Rais, there was the whole gun battle when the Layla song was going on. Like, it takes a good director to put it in there and have it make sense. Like Rangastalam, I had a problem with. Why is this character on his freaking wedding night going to the bar to do the item number? Like, and granted, that meant that was because he wasn't with his brother, then his brother went off on his own. Okay, I get that, but like, did it have to be that way? That one just felt so egregious to me. Like, on the freaking wedding night, like, okay. What about the complete actor Mohanlal? I love him. Like, what about him? Let's see. Do you feel weird when you're just talking to the camera as if there's no human interaction or reaction involved? It did feel a little odd at first, but I'm always picturing you guys watching it in my head. Do you know what I mean? I'm picturing that this is a conversation that I'm having with you. And maybe that's how I got over my initial awkwardness, is that I'm speaking directly to you and we're having a conversation. And when I'm asking you to comment and tell me what you think, I really mean it. I really want to hear what you think of these trailers, or what you thought of this movie, or, you guys have suggested so many good films to me. Well, if you like this movie, then you're going to like this movie. I mean, that's what I love. That's what keeps me going of doing these YouTube videos, is that we're having this conversation, because my family doesn't care about this. Like, you are the people that I get to talk to about my passion, about what I love, which is Indian cinema. Anchor, have you seen Nilbate Sanata? No, I have not. Kaka Mutai Tama movie. I have not seen that one. Okay. Have I seen Mohanlal's Pranayam? No, I haven't. I have seen maybe a dozen Mohanlal films. There's so many. There's so many. Avasa, no Bollywood. Did you say something else before that? What does that mean? No Bollywood, Tollywood, Mollywood. Ravinder, why so much navel? Okay, so what I heard about that is that, maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because the censors would not allow cleavage shots. And I have seen films where a girl will be in a bikini and they have like blurred her chest, because if she was doing a dance move and leaned over, like there was too much cleavage, and so they blurred it. So then it seems like, since they couldn't show the chest, they showed the midriff, and then the midriff became sexy because that's what they showed. And I mean, just thinking of the Bahubali film, and Prabhas is like going after those the item number in that movie, like he's like going in rubbing his face all over their waists and whatever. That's just one example. So, and it does seem like I've seen if somebody's sari slips or something in their navel, like that just seems to be this huge thing. So that's like a cultural thing where I don't completely get it, because it's just so different than American sensibility. Like, obviously showing a girl in a bikini is sexy, but it's not something that's out of the ordinary or considered scandalous, in any way. So I don't know. Do you cringe when Americans in Indian movies have those fake accents? Do you mean like do you mean like white people in Indian movies and having fake accents? Okay, sometimes it's funny to me because I literally feel like they must have just grabbed some random European tourist off the street, and they're so bad. They're so bad. It's kind of laughable sometimes, the white actors in Indian films. It just kind of cracks me up. Ankar, I love Okay Kanmani too. I can't speak Tamil. It's interesting. My next door neighbor, her husband speaks Tamil, and she said that Dolker's accent, his Malayalam accent, was so thick that she couldn't really understand what he was saying. I mean, that completely is something that I missed from watching that. I know that's one of his earlier films. It'd be interesting to me. He's supposedly dubbing for himself in Mahanati, the Telugu film, and I'm wondering how he's going to do in that, and if people are going to. Rimbo, have you reacted to the 24 Tamil movie or watched? I have watched the movie. I have a written review on my Movie Mamagal site blog. I watched it before in the theater before I had this YouTube channel, but it's something I would love to watch again. Who is your favorite Telugu actor? Pavan Kumar 123. Prabhas. Love him. Just love him. Akshay, which is the best film in the industry? I don't, like any good mom or auntie, I don't play favorites. I like each one for different things or different actors. I started with the Hindi industry, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's my favorite. I like Malayalam films for the kind of special films that they are. I love the machete fights and all this masala craziness and things like Arjun Reddy and the Telugu industry. And Mani Ratnam is one of my all-time favorite directors, and he's done so many Tamil films that are just so excellent. And of course, Madhavan is one of my favorite actors, and he's done so many great Tamil films as well. So for me, everything is subtitles, right? So I don't have a favorite. Like, I can't hear the difference necessarily with the way a dialogue is said or whatever, because I'm reading the words in English, and so I don't have a favorite. They're all good. They're all good. Superstar Superman. What do you think of Bahubali becoming Superman at the ending? You know what? I've kind of been thinking about the fact, somebody was like, do I like superhero movies? And I sort of feel like the South films where people fly through the air and fights and things like that, how different is that than Hollywood superhero movies? Like Batman. Batman doesn't have supernatural powers necessarily, but when he does a fight, stuff like that happens too. And we all just accept that as normal. It doesn't take me out of the movie when stuff like that happens in a Telugu or Tamil film. to me, that's all part of the experience. I know the action scenes are going to be like that. I know the leaves are going to rustle in the air, or the confetti, or whatever it is. There's certain just things that happen in those movies, and I just expect it. Like, to me, like, why can't they be superheroes? Why can't Bahubali be a superhero? That's fine. I'm fine with it. Do you write movie reviews too? I did used to do for my site, my Movie Mama Gal, and some on Letterboxd. I'm doing less writing because the time that I'm spending, I'm making these videos instead. So what I would have written, I'm saying. And it's easier for me actually to just sit down in front of the camera and talk to you guys rather than sitting down and writing. What do you do in your free time apart from YouTube, Ram Burma? So, like I said, I am a mom of three. I have 3 sons, and I'm a political junkie. So I watch a lot of political news shows here in the States. Like, for instance, there's a show called Morning Joe that's 3-hour long political commentary that I watch every day religiously. I like to watch some American series, but frankly, like, Indian movies take up so much of my time. I'm way behind. But the show This Is Us, which is a very melodramatic, emotional show, resonates with me because it reminds me of the emotions that I like. Like, every episode wants to make you want to cry. So it reminds me of the emotion that I get from Indian films. But I'm behind on that. Let's see. What else do I do? I volunteer a lot. Like, I've been very busy volunteering at my son's school the past week and a half. He's in a musical called 42nd Street. So he's singing and dancing, and it's going to be opening this weekend. And he is, he's really involved in his school, and like, I like to do things to support him there by volunteering. So let's see. Remember, said he had an American friend to watch to learn about Indian culture. They are a way to learn about culture. I could watch a film set in Africa, and learn something about the way that people live there. I don't think I have, a lot of the things that I have learned about Indian culture, I have learned by watching them. It's one thing to read about, for instance, like a funeral ritual, and it's another thing to actually see it in a film, or to read about what a wedding would be. And it's another thing. I've never been invited to an Indian wedding, but I've seen parts of them by watching a lot of films. So I have learned about the differences between, I'll give you an example, the movie Two States. So I just never realized before I saw that film kind of the prejudices and the differences between the way North Indian people and South Indian people view each other. And I'm not saying that it's an absolute or anything. My next door neighbors are from South India, and I kind of was like, yeah, my next door neighbor is quite more reserved and whatever, like some of the people in that movie were portrayed from South India. So I did learn, like, the wedding rituals are very different. So I do read a lot about it too, or experience. It's very expensive for me to visit India, right? So how am I going to learn about it? By watching these movies. And I'm not saying that a Bollywood movie is what a true family life or whatever would be like, but it's my window to that world. It's my window to seeing what Kerala looks like, why it's called God's own country, because of how beautiful the scenery is there. Or seeing a film that shows me the hill country, the tea growing region. It just like it's my window into that world. So I learn a little. There's a lot of cultural stuff that just I miss. It goes over my head. But Ron, do you feel cringy after watching your own videos? Sometimes yes. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes yes. Bhavan Kumar, yours is also, yeah. He's my heart. He's my heart. What would be your suggestion of needed to improve? You know what? I can't really. I don't feel like I've only seen maybe 40 or 50 Telugu films. I don't feel that it's my place to say how it should improve. There's things, there were very good directors in the Telugu industry that are both, the Bharatanatyam and Menu, I think, is a good example of something where they're giving the mass audience what they want with some of those action scenes and everything, but they're also giving us really exceptional, well-written drama scenes as well. I think, though, that, and I'm blanking on his name, but the young director of Arjun Reddy, I'm very excited about some of these new young directors who are making really different kind of films. And, I think there's a space for everything. Like in Hollywood, in America, we have all different kinds of films too, right? So, there's Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise, and there's The Shape of Water, and then there's small little independent films that you might see at Sundance. So there's room for all different kinds of movies. And so maybe just that everything doesn't have to be the same. Now that you guys are having more multiplex theaters, it doesn't have to necessarily be a movie for everyone in the family to enjoy equally, right? Maybe there can be a little bit of variety. How often do you read comments on Kurt? I read every comment. So only if someone abuses me and uses the F word and really, which I have seen, and then I will delete a comment like that, because you know what? It's my freaking channel and I don't need to see abuse. But other than that, if someone just criticizes me, I'm going to leave it on there. You'll see that if I've read your comment, I press the little heart button, and but I frequently I try to reply to as many as I can. So I read every single comment. Batman films, Ellen says, don't have super over-the-top fights. If you've seen Batman Begins, he goes through the whole training. Yes, I agree with you. It makes it plausible that Batman learned these skills to fight. I'm just saying, somebody still might fly through the air using wire work, and that's not going to feel out of bounds for a Batman film. We're not given any reason. Well, the only reason is that they're awesome, right? Because they're the hero. That's all you need to know. But it isn't. I find it very entertaining. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I know some people look down their nose at it, and I'm like, I don't, because I enjoy it. You've never seen Batman jumping like that in there. Okay, you know what was in my mind that I was thinking about is like when Batman and Superman were fighting, and yeah, they were like flying around a little bit. Maybe not to the extreme, but it was okay. Why don't you open the door and come out instead of peeping through the window? Do you mean by like actually coming to India? Well, I would love to, but it costs a lot of money someday. And I do. So like for our town holds a holy festival. I've gone to that. My next door neighbor will host a Diwali party, and she'll invite me to that. If I was ever invited to an Indian wedding here, I would love to go and experience one in real life. I've just never been invited to one. Please review Ram No Zero. Okay, I'm not familiar with, is that a director or an actor? So I guess I will look for those, but let's see. Ravender, I don't really watch horror films, so I can't speak to why Indian horror films aren't like those, because I don't watch those. Superstar, superfan, don't you think it was a little too much in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Especially that was the 80s. Okay. And cultural sensitivity now is very different to then. And I totally agree with you that it was way over the top, and I cringe. I cringe when I see those scenes now. So I totally agree with you that, yeah. So, nothing is perfect, but I hope we have come a long way in general since that time. Ankur, can you distinguish among Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam films, acting-wise, direction-wise, everything? Everything? I think Malayalam films have a somewhat more natural style of acting. And I love that it seems to be a small filmmaking community where the director of one film you will see act in a different film. It's just like the way that it's just this tight-knit community where they act in each other's films, and one might be the writer for one or the director of one and acting in a different one, and they just support each other. I love that. And that does seem to be quite special and unique. Subin Shahir, he'll direct one movie and the next one he's starring in, or he's playing a supporting character to help another director friend. I love that about Malayalam films. They remind me more of independent cinema in the States or in the UK. It feels more like almost any of those films I could see playing at a place like Sundance. It would fit right in. Telugu and Tamil films in general, like Mani Ratnam aside, are more, masala feeling sometimes, but I like that. But then we have things like Arjun Reddy, I'm blanking on the director's name of Arjun Reddy, but guys know how much I admire that film. And, it's very, the way that you guys revere stars is something that is in the South is just something I can't even hardly get my brain around. I see the pictures of the way people react in theaters for that first day first show, and the huge cutouts that are at the theaters. Like, I can't. It's so different. It's so different than here. I'm losing my voice. And Hindi films seem to be more commercial and slick. But I'll tell you something. I feel like where they're falling down lately is the script writing. There's better scripts sometimes in the South than some Hindi films. Not all of them, but I think regional films should get more respect. You're going to do an adventure movie with Elon Musk? Okay. Can you react to more Tamil songs? Okay. It's hard. Again, Tamil, I'm a little nervous about copyright strikes and whatever with songs. So, and they always get like copyright notices, so I don't get any monetization from those. Ankur says, what are your views on movies as a medium to bring social change? I think, I think they can be powerful, and they can show people, like in the States, I would, movies like Selma, or 10 Years a Slave. And I think movies can really affect people deeply and show people things that you can't experience it in any other way, because the visceral experience of watching the whipping scenes in 10 Years a Slave, just reading it on the page would not give you the impact of seeing it. So or even a film like Hidden Figures, just showing that was a hugely popular film here. and showing people the discrimination that African American women experienced. And here they were brilliant scientists and they were not respected, and how they even had to go to a separate building to use a colored bathroom. I think there's a lot of young people in America who they don't know history, and they're getting it through movies. I heard a horrifying statistic that there's a huge percentage of young people that don't even know what Auschwitz is. So it's going to be things like the movies, like Schindler's List and other films that are going to, educate people. And also documentaries, like Steven Spielberg did this whole Shoah project where he took the stories and filmed interviews with all of these Holocaust survivors. So I think it's huge. It can have a huge impact in teaching people. I can't speak to, I've heard things like Ranga Basanti had a big impact in India. I don't feel like I can speak to how an Indian film might impact the Indian audience, because that's not my experience, and I just don't feel like I would be confident in even expressing an opinion on that. Do I watch Korean movies? No, I do not. Abasan. I don't really watch. I tried to watch Old Boy. Is that Korean or is that Hong Kong? Oh, sorry, I don't know. It's not really my thing. There were different things. I think both of them are really, really good films, and they're both enjoyable, but for different reasons. And I enjoyed both of them very much. Have I ever heard about Leader? I actually own it on DVD and I haven't watched it yet. That's the one with Rana, right? Yeah, I own it and I haven't watched it yet. On the long list. Pavan Kumar, you just subscribed? Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Superstar, superfan. Bharatani Ninu is a message-oriented movie, whereas Rangastalam is paneer butter masala. I haven't heard that phrase before. Shiva's films are very message-oriented. Srimantadu had a message. Even Janata Garage, Junior NTR is playing an environmentalist, like who kicks butt, but he's an environmentalist and he plants trees too. So he always seems to have a strong message in his films, which I think is great. I mean, he's a good writer-director. Ankur, do you like poetry? There's some very good poetry involved in some Hindu songs. You know what? I know, blanking on his name, famous lyricist who wrote the poem in Jab Tak Hai Jaan. So there's a poem that Shah Rukh Khan says in Jab Tak Hai Jaan. Oh my gosh. So good. And then Fana, they're both Amir and Kajol kind of exchanged couplets. So even though the translation isn't in English, isn't as beautiful as what they're saying, I can still appreciate just hearing the rhyming and the rhythm of the language of the poetry. I listened to that Jab Tak Hai Jaan poem just like over and over and over again. I love that one. When can we see you in India? I don't know. I can't afford to come there right now. Do you think R-rated movies can be made in India? I don't know. They're so, like, John Wick is so extremely violent and there's so much blood. It's such a slick film. I watched it recently, really loved it. Logan, they could probably tone down the violence some and make something like Logan. Does your son play Battle Royale? No, I don't think so. Donna Bresco, can you review one Mohanlal film? I have reviewed several Mohanlal films, and I will definitely be doing more. I saw that he just tweeted that he finished the supernatural thriller or whatever one where he's like a shapeshifter. Oh my God, I cannot wait for that movie. Cannot wait. So, Javteka Jan is some marvelous songs. Yes, it does. Gulzar. Thank you. Thank you. Javed Akhtar. I think it was Javed Akhtar that wrote that poem. I could be wrong, but I know he is a very famous lyricist, and some of the beautiful lyrics, he is amazing. Pradu, hi. Hello back. Okay, seems like you guys are tapering off. We've been talking for almost an hour, so I'm going to wrap it up. And thank you for the people who said that they were subscribing. And we'll try to do this again. I don't know if I can do it every week. I'm getting ready to go out of the country, but we will do it again soon. Thank you. End.